In today's video, how many steps should you be taking if your goal is to lose body fat in the quickest way possible? Hey guys, what's going on? This is Paul Ravella from ProPhysique.com. In today's video, we're going to break down a question that I love answering. It talks about steps, and actually getting steps and walking was something that occurred to me a few years ago, and it has forever changed my approach to fitness. Now, I'm someone that, I've been focused on coaching and competing in bodybuilding for more than a decade now, and it's things like this: going back to school, understanding the science, paying close attention to the anecdote, and not getting too drilled down in one specific aspect of a modality, whether that be diet, whether that be cardio, whether that be lifestyle, because this is what's going to cause problems, okay? Steps are not magic. Diet is not magic. However, we can create magic if you follow these steps. So first, let me ask you the question. How many steps do you recommend a person does to lose body fat in the shortest period of time? So let's talk about losing body fat and what that entails. Now, if you do nothing different but start moving more, is that going to help you lose body fat? Absolutely. Now, losing body fat in the shortest method possible, the shortest time possible, that can actually be a recipe for disaster. And I'm going to explain what I mean by that. But ultimately, before we talk about how many steps, how much cardio, what kind of workouts, what kind of diet, we have to understand what fat loss is. Fat on our bodies is energy. It is energy that is stored. Now, this is a very good thing. I know sometimes people think body fat is bad, but we need body fat. In fact, there are amounts of body fat that are ideal. You can actually get so lean, like I got here, where your body fat actually becomes a problem, okay? So why would I ever get that lean? Because it's the thing I enjoy. So if anyone ever says to you, getting shredded is not healthy, false. Getting shredded is absolutely healthy. It has changed my life in many ways. Now, being shredded may not be the healthiest part of my day or part of my life, but it is healthy for me mentally and physically to push myself and find out what those places are like. So before anybody gets involved in your life and tells you you shouldn't be doing these things, tell them they can kick rocks, because getting shredded is just one way that we can express our passion for this life that we lead. Okay. I would never tell somebody not to drive faster because it's dangerous if they like racing cars and that's their passion. They understand the dangers. I understand that, getting shredded and helping you guys lose body fat, there is a place we can get to where losing body fat might not be the best, but understanding body fat really helps us. Understanding what those adipocytes, those fat cells, are all about. First things first, you can never actually lose fat cells unless you get something done like a surgery like liposuction. And there's actually evidence that even if you do liposuction, those fat cells do come back. They'll actually show up in different areas. However, we're going to talk about the most of us that are not getting surgery, that are trying to lose body fat, because the term lose body fat implies that you're losing it. You're actually just diminishing the size of those fat cells, so they basically don't exist, okay? They have no energy to store. So how do we do that? It's through the process of every day we are creating an energy deficit, and our body is going to dip into a resource to fill those energy needs. Now, for me, I don't want to lose muscle, so I am doing everything in my power to make sure that I'm only losing body fat. This is why I love walking. Okay, walking is a low intensity, steady state form of activity that uses what as fuel? That's right, body fat. Well, we know that the intensity of an exercise is going to determine the fuel source that the body primarily uses. If you're doing something explosive, like sprinting, like swinging a bat, like swinging a golf club, swinging a tennis racket, those activities are going to be more carbohydrate-based activities, okay? So when you hear somebody say HIIT cardio is better for fat loss, well, HIIT cardio is actually going to preferentially create a deficit through burning carbohydrates. Now, I've done this in the past. I've done lots of high-intensity cardio. In fact, I used to do it for my fat loss phases of contest prep. But when I realized that this was actually more problematic because it created more downstream issues. So ultimately, what matters is the 24-hour window. How you create that deficit is up to you. Of course, understanding where your calories should be and understanding where your macronutrients, your protein, carbs, and fats should be to create that deficit is going to be a big part of this process, because it's not about just creating a fasting plan or a starvation plan or a plan where you avoid carbohydrates completely. All those methods work through the same process. They create an energy deficit. Your body is going to break down fat for fuel, and it is going to get rid of that fat. And then you're going to look different. You're going to have less body fat. You're going to weigh less. You're going to be happy. However, it can be very short-lived if you do it the wrong way. This is why I've come to this conclusion about walking. Why? Because I've tried it all the ways. I'm one of the top coaches in the world at what I do. And what I do is make sure my athletes are not only getting conditioned, but they're actually able to maintain that condition and actually come out of their contest season and be successful in the next phase, whatever that might be. Only a very bad coach just tells people to move more and eat less. Okay, that really does not have any application in the real world of coaching because those rules are very vague. Okay, I'm going to be very specific with you. If you don't know what your macros should be, hey, I've got a free calculator. I'll put it on the screen here. But the point of that is that to keep muscle and lose body fat, we got to find the best modality. Now, you asked a very specific question. How many steps? Here's a very easy answer. As many as you can get. Walking, in my mind, is magical. When I think about the people that maintain the lowest body fat, that have the least issues with gaining weight, if you look at the blue zones, the research shows those people that are able to get to 100 years of age on average are moving more throughout the day. Sometimes it's people with lower incomes, and so they don't have all the things that we have. They might have to walk to get water, walk up to a hill to get food. They're actually active throughout the day. They're very busy. What's happened, at least in my lifetime, is that things have gotten more convenient, okay? Over time, convenience creates us being more sedentary. For this reason, what I did was find a way to get more active. I work at a desk all day. I work at a computer. My job did not exist 15 years ago. There was nobody doing full-time coaching from a computer. That is what I do now. If you want to work with me, you fill out some information, we get on a phone call, and I talk to you about your goals, and I send you your plans, and I send you weekly videos, and we do that. Those technologies did not exist 15 years ago. So guess what I would have done probably 15 years ago? Either had another career or been in a gym being a personal trainer. Guess what? Personal trainers are on their feet. Some of my clients get between 15 and 20,000 steps a day. Those steps count as energy expended. Now, if you're paying attention to the energy you're taking in and the energy you're putting out, well, you can see some real magical things happen here. It is not a complicated process. The complication becomes in the method that you use to restrict calories and increase activity can actually cause you to gain that weight back rapidly. If you guys aren't familiar with the research from The Biggest Loser, where they were using very, very aggressive methods of not eating and over-exercising, that created a problem where they rebounded, okay? And some of those people actually rebounded to have more body fat and have more eating disorder behaviors after losing more than 100 pounds. Think about that. So sometimes the process of losing weight, it's not just about getting the weight off or losing the body fat. It's about making sure that you're able to maintain it, sustain it, and work that hard, and you want to be rewarded for it, okay? It'd be like, working really hard and saving $1 million, and then in 3 weeks, it's all gone, okay? It's the same thing with fat loss. If you take a method to get there that is not going to allow you to sustain it, well, that's going to be a problem. And that's why I love walking. Guys, it's very easy for me to get up every single day and get on my treadmill right here. It's easy to go outside and go for a walk. It's easy to take more opportunities throughout the day to move more. However, it does require time. The thing that's magical about walking is the low intensity, steady state walking. It doesn't really increase my hunger. In fact, sometimes when I'm hungry, if I go for a walk, I feel a little bit better. I don't have as much hunger. Also, I can multitask. If I really want to use walking, I can put on a game of basketball, like an NBA playoff game right now. That's something that I love to do instead of just sitting still. If I have two things I want to do, watch something, a movie, a sport, and I need to get my steps in, guess what? I can do both at the same time. So there's multitasking there. It's very hard to multitask with other forms of cardio, especially high intensity in nature, especially things like sprints, because you're so winded and gassed. Now, those have application. If you're entering a sport or an event that requires you to have a really good VO2 max and to be able to handle that, great. As a bodybuilder, really, I put my intensity in the gym. So you've got to look at the big picture for yourself, okay? How much walking can help you move the fastest? Listen, I had a client once lose 6 pounds in a week, and I said, what did you do differently this week? And she said, I did nothing differently this week. I said, come on, you did something differently this week. You didn't change your diet. You didn't change your cardio. Well, I got a new job. What was the job? I'm a cocktail waitress in a casino. She was getting 25,000 steps a day, hustling all day, getting drinks. She lost 6 pounds in a week. Was that a bad idea? You know what? She was busy. Her mind was busy. She was working. She wasn't thinking about it from that perspective. So sometimes a busy mind can help you lose weight. Guess what helps you with a busy mind? Moving, being active. You listen to a podcast while you walk, you put the TV on. So I don't really put any limitations on what people are capable of. You lose as much weight as you're capable of, but it's just going to come down to your time, okay? If you've got the time to get out and take a lot of steps, listen, you can walk 3, 4, 5 hours a day and see some amazing results. I recommend a really good pair of shoes, I probably recommend, paying attention to any type of pain that you're having in the knee, ankle, and, depending on your body weight, if you're very obese, there can be some problems. But the point here is that there's no magic amount of walking, right? So I think this number 10,000 steps gets thrown around a lot. That's a lot of damn steps, okay? I've had days where I was very busy and only got 6,000 steps. So 10,000 steps is going to actively probably require you to get out and think about how many steps you're getting unless you have a job where you're on your feet all day. However, if you break it up and do 15 minutes here, 30 minutes there, that's the same value as if you do an hour straight, right? It doesn't matter how you get it done. It just matters that you get it done. Look for opportunities in your day to find ways to be more active. It's going to create the momentum. It's going to help you improve your diet. It's going to help you improve your body composition. And when you get that momentum going, it's just going to help create that idea that I want to do a little bit more. What else could I be doing? And that's where we're going to help you guys out. Okay, we're going to be starting our 8-week summer sculpt here in a couple weeks. Registrations are already open. We're going to be providing lots of meal plans, lots of training plans, private group support for only $50. And if you want a coach, well, we can offer that too. So the goal here for me is helping you create deadlines, work towards your goals. Walking, getting steps, that is just what we consider energy expenditure to contrast energy intake. Finding that balance, what works best for you. I have some clients that are like, Coach, I would rather eat less than move more. I have some clients that are like, Coach, I would rather eat a lot, but I like to move a lot. Great. We'll find the balance that works best for you, the timeline that matters, but the goal for you, how many steps? Get out there, try it. Try getting an hour worth of steps. And when steps are no longer great for you, that's why I love the incline treadmill. I can increase the intensity of my session by increasing the incline and the speed just slightly. Guess what happens? Now I'm burning more calories in the same amount of time. Guys, you see how this works. It's about looking at your whole day, looking at ways you can optimize your schedule, and then the amount of steps that you take are going to have an impact. If you're not tracking your diet, if you have no idea what your calories are at, and you just start walking more, you might inadvertently gain weight. Why? Well, maybe you're walking to a restaurant. All right, that's enough jokes for me. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow.